they were roomies.
God, they were roommates.
Hey, Roomies. Welcome back to another podcast. I am here, Courtney, with Kaylee and Megan, and we're going to be talking about some dating horror stories and also kind of taking a deeper dive into dating apps and the hell that is. So it's going to be a wild ride, guys.
Buckle up on the coaster. Buckle up isn't better.
Hop on the coaster. Love it.
What is that?
Why do I feel like that's something like a dad would say to his like, okay, kids, we're gonna go to the lake. Hop on the coaster, and you're just like,
buckle your
stop.
seat. Hop on the coaster. We're going to Denny's.
Make sure your arms and legs are inside the vehicle at all times.
I've had 3 sips of this beverage, and it shows.
It's hitting.
Drink responsibly, kids. Otherwise, you would probably turn into a father. I don't know.
You turn into a middle-aged white man.
You know, if dad jokes are the worst I can get, then I won't be too upset about it.
It's valid.
Fair.
At the end of the day.
That is true. You could be an angry drunk, which is not good. Not ideal.
Just out here living life.
So it's a good segue into our topic of maybe if guys would just send more dad jokes instead of creepy first one-liners, things would turn out better for them in the process.
Let's talk about these one-liners because we've gotten a fair bit of just the creepiest, weirdest one-liners. And
yeah,
I just want to start off by saying, like, if there's any guys listening, please don't
do better.
Whatever you're doing, it's just like a joke is fine. Just a hey is okay. You know, like it doesn't have to be super complicated. When you think that it's too complicated, just stop. Stop in your tracks.
Yeah. Did you guys see there was a big Twitter post from a gal who got messages on her Facebook from a guy who found her from like Bumble?
Yes, I saw that, and that was a nightmare.
What?
It was horrible. This guy literally, you know, on dating apps, you only learn someone's first name.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the app, you can learn like maybe the city or county or state they're from or whatever. And so somehow this guy utilized that basic information to find this woman on Facebook.
Yeah. They did not match, by the way.
Yeah, they did not match.
He just saw her and was like...
She had no idea who he was, so he reached out and sent like 4 messages of a like, hey, oh my gosh, it's going to be so awkward, but like, you probably don't know me.
Rambly thing.
It just...
And then the voice note got even worse.
Yeah, there was voice notes. He was like talking to himself for minutes on end, not quite explaining who he was, but kind of saying like, oh, your profile matched what I wanted, blah,
Is
blah, blah.
that viral sound that's going around of the guy that's like, I'm going to call you one more time and leave you one more message.
No, it's not
and
that.
I am one of the only guys in the city that doesn't have anything. Is it like that type of nonsense?
No, it's more like,
It's
oh my
similar.
gosh, I'm so quirky. Like, ha ha ha. He's trying to be like funny.
I promise I'm a good guy. Ugh.
Yeah, I can promise I'm a good guy. Like, he's like making all these like weird jokes and stuff, but it's like, no, this is creepy. Also, this is a 5-minute voice note, and who has time?
Yeah.
This is for somebody they don't know, that like they didn't match. That's so
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
It's
He's like, hey, how are you? And she's just like, who is this? And he's like,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound really weird, but I saw you on Bumble and I found you, and just hold on a second, I'll explain. And then he never ends up explaining.
Yeah.
So like
he just talked
very
about
much
himself.
into the conversation. Yeah, pretty much.
So-
And come to find out, people were like replying to the tweet like, oh, I actually know this guy. He did the same thing with me.
Oh no.
And yeah, so he had apparently he's done it to a lot of girls. And one of them he found on like Tinder or something. She had her job, or like she was wearing her t-shirt for her work. And he called her work to try and get to talk to her. he's just like, hey, me and so matched in a dating website and I lost her contact. Like, can you tell her to call me or let me know when she's in? And like, obviously the people were just like, oh, well, we can't tell you that information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness they were smart enough to say no.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but she was 21 and he's older, way older. So she had to have like her brothers walk her home every night because she was just scared that he'd come up there and try and like meet her. But he called, I think she said 3 times to her work. Trying to see if she was there. Yeah. And so, yeah, he has a history of being a creep and also a couple different names, which is funny. He goes by a couple different names, which is weird too. The plot just kept in figures.
Dang.
Yeah, it goes to show to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do too much to try to get to know somebody. If things are supposed to work out, they will do so.
That's true. Like if it's meant to be, it'll be.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to go full detective mode to seek some, like,
say hi to somebody.
Yeah.
I have this rule, and it's if he wanted to, he would. Mm-hmm. And so if she wanted to, she would. So if they're not texting you back, they're, leaving you on red, or like they just haven't texted you in a while and you're going
don't match with you.
Or they don't match with you. If they like you and they see you, then they would. They would swipe, they would reply, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not force something that doesn't need to be forced.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Because it's creepy.
Yeah. It can definitely too, like, lead to hesitation of using apps. We've heard,
for sure.
We hear horror stories of this guy messaging her on Facebook, or people getting physically harmed when meeting people off of these apps. It's like, gosh, why can't we just find a way as a society to treat each other well and not make this awkward part of life even worse? Because dating is hard and uncomfortable and vulnerable. So
for sure, yeah,
making it like even worse is just
the best way to go about it all is just to be like fun and just exciting, sort of a thing. Don't be too intense. Don't take everything super seriously. Just go into it with like a clear head and just be ready to like joke and laugh, and like that's the best way to send maybe like a first kind of message, or to treat the conversation. Because if you can't laugh with someone, then it's just it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's
super tough. But I want to know, what is the worst pickup line you guys have heard?
Towards myself?
Just in general.
Gosh, do I even... Megan, do you have one? I can't...
I thought of one immediately, and I don't know if it counts as a pickup line or just sexual harassment. You guys can decide. So when I moved, when I was in high school, so mind you, I was a sophomore in high school, just started at a new school, first day of school. I walk into my chemistry class, and there is a group of football players sitting like around the desks. And mind you, I know nobody at the school. Just moved to town. Don't know anyone. And they proceed to guess how many cans of whipped cream they could spray on my chest to lick off. While I'm standing there, would it take 1 can, 2 cans, 4 cans, because of the size of my cans? Yeah.
That's so random that like, who would even think
bold. It was bold.
Yeah, but also very stupid. Like, what is the point of that?
Yep. And then I had PE with them for the rest of the semester, and had to. So basically, we would line up by last name, like alphabetical order, and I don't know how, but last name just in the middle of all the football players, and they just essentially sexually harassed me. for the first 5 minutes of PE class every day. And I went to the teacher and I was like, hey, can I like stand at the front and you just like mark me here at the start? And she said that would be too much work for her. And I just needed to stand with all the guys who would tell me, you know, how they would rock my world and trying to get, you know, you should sleep with my buddy and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, I just never said anything. And then one day I said something to them. This guy was trying to convince me to sleep with his friend. He's like, you know, he's the star of the JV, like the quarterback of the JV football team. And I just turned to him. I was like, call me when he's the quarterback of the varsity team. And I just turned back because I was so tired of like dealing with these shitty guys every single day for like JV 3 months. Team. Yeah, I was like, JV, that means nothing to me. Call me when it's varsity. Like, because I didn't have anything. I was like, I'm so done with it. But yeah, so I think that was, I don't even know if that counts as a pickup line, but it was just like, because it wasn't said to me, but they were like actively talking loud enough in front of me.
No, they wanted you to hear for sure.
And so I just, So that was a fun way to start a new school.
Oh, man.
Yeah, yikes. Let's also like make it clear too, like if you're gonna compliment a girl, if you find her attractive, let's just not. Let's just say like, hey, I think you're beautiful. Let's not point out an aspect of them. Let's not try and talk about their body in any types of way. And these things honestly should be obvious, you would think.
Common
but
sense.
It is not. It is not. Unless you are in a relationship with this girl, and even then sometimes you should not comment on her body.
Like I don't know if I'd ever want anybody to say, how many whipped cream cans do you think? That's just so that's not what's turning me on.
Thing to talk about too. Like you couldn't find any better material. You know? Like,
I mean, they were horny teenagers, so
I guess.
They didn't know anything else.
I mean, who wants that much whipped cream at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Right? Like, I love whipped cream, but Jesus, I'm not going to sit and go through cans and debate how much. Like, this is very strange.
Oh, God. Yep. I hate that so much.
It's gross.
What about you, Kaylee?
Gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank. Do I just not talk to people?
Actually, I don't think I talk to humans.
This guy I was talking to once, who I'd only known via Twitter, sent me a shirtless picture of himself via Twitter DMs, which was whatever.
Yikes.
And then I just like played along and was like, OMG, you're so fine, because I was like 17 or whatever, which was also probably a problem.
Yes.
But then he said, and he's like very basic white boy, like nothing amazing, right? And he said something about like, oh man, does this picture make you wet? And I was like, yeah, okay. Bye.
Like, I've had enough.
Like he didn't say anything with the photo.
Yeah.
So then it was like
that was his first words to you.
Yeah, to keep things rolling in that conversation at least. I was like, okay.
You're like, I tried to give it a chance, and then
I tried to play along, but that's a bit aggressive.
It's a bit much to have that
especially
be
just
your
like
first
out of
word.
the blue, like
it was. That's
like, here's a girl on Twitter.
Yeah, I think we had like only replied to each other's tweets very casually back and forth. I don't think at that time we'd otherwise really, had conversations. So,
yikes!
That one's probably near the top for me.
No, that's pretty bad.
Corny.
I have so many. I actually like save them to my phone. When I get like a good one, I save it. Take a screenshot and I keep it for the laughs. Let me see if I can go through my phone and find one. Obviously, the last one I got that I sent to you guys was a guy who messaged me on Hinge, and like when you like someone on Hinge, you can send them a message and they can see it and decide to either like you and respond to the message or pass. I passed, but he said, "You look like a tasty chocolate gummy bear, ... kiss emoji." And I was like, no thanks.
Pass.
Hard pass. And obviously, like, I looked at the profile. I gave it a chance. Pass the first no, to be respectful, I guess. And it was still a no. But it was just a very strange thing to, like, say. It's not like, hey, like, where are you from? Anything.
Yeah.
It's just, I look like a chocolate gummy bear.
Or even, like, I feel like he was trying to give you a compliment, but he could have just been like, dang, you are very beautiful. Like,
yeah. Like, anything would have been better besides that.
I'm actually kind of concerned about calling somebody a gummy bear. Because, like,
I know.
They're not, I mean, they're cute, but I don't know.
Not, like, you don't think of gummy bears as being, like, adorable.
Yeah, that's not, like, what I want to look like.
Exactly.
That's not my preferred body type. It's a gummy bear.
I'm like, what are you trying to say?
Now that I'm like, oh.
Right?
I'm
like, no.
I feel like that's almost, like, backhanded.
It really is. Like, he's trying to give me a compliment by saying, like, he likes, I guess, like, bigger girls, and then, like, completely ruined it by continuing to say things.
And by also, like, I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder, like, when you get described specifically as, like, chocolate, is
that's
that
too.
Like a turnoff?
Like, yeah, I feel like it is. Because it's like
specifically pointing it out. That
yeah, like,
you're black, but, like, that doesn't...
There's, hey, you're black. Like, this guy was... I think he was black, too, or, like, some, like, mixed, maybe. But... It's like, hey, let's not mention that. But I've had, like, white guys swipe on me and they're just like, never been with a black girl before.
I remember those ones. You'd be like, got another one of these, and it was always like, ooh.
It was always just the grossest, and I'm like, well, that's that.
You're still gonna be waiting because you're not finding any of that.
I know.
Ain't gonna be me.
Basically keep trying, I guess.
Yeah, it's clearly not working for a reason. Yeah, chocolate gummy bear. That's just... I did have one guy, I don't think I'd call it a pickup line, but on Hinge, you can also have, like, questions that people can reply to. And I had put a question up that was just like, go to, like, singing in the shower songs. And he replied back, I don't sing in the shower, I just masturbate.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like...
overshare.
Yeah. I was like,
my God.
Is that supposed to, like, be a pickup line? Am I supposed to be like, oh my God, that's so hot?
The man of my dreams.
Like, yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
A man who masturbates in the shower, you're one of a kind.
I love this.
Come on.
For you. Thanks.
Yeah, that was an immediate, like, delete and block. I was like,
for sure. What an overshare.
Yeah, is that supposed to make me want to talk to you? No.
Yeah, I had
music recommendations.
Right, anything. Like, literally anything. I had one where I have I think like I answered a question that was like, what can I do to, like, win your heart, I guess. And I was just like, oh, like, make me laugh. And so a guy had responded. He was like, I don't know if I can make you laugh, but I can make you ... winky face. And I was like,
get out of here.
Right. I was like,
go
pack it up.
Yeah.
tomatoes.
It's
ridiculous. But I did find another one that is pretty great.
Ooh.
Yes.
It says, and I quote, "Good evening, Nubian queen." Already off to a terrible
It just reminds me of that Vine where the guy's like, good evening.
Good evening.
Nubian queen.
Nubian queen. It's already, I was like, no thanks.
Yeah.
But then he goes on to say, he puts his name, so-and-so. and simply wondering if I could be that nectar that sweetens those taste buds, a caramel that soothes your soul. Be nice to chart, and I think he meant chat, but he put chart. And yeah.
Another bold move.
Very bold. I'm like,
nectar for your taste buds. Oh my
I was wondering if I can be that nectar that sweetens those taste buds.
What is this, slam poetry?
Slam poetry.
A caramel that soothes your soul.
Soul.
Yikes.
That's insane.
And like, what did he like
Nubian
expect for
queen?
me to say to that?
Be like, oh yes, king.
Right?
You've come to save me.
Like, what do
I've been craving
like I'm craving a caramel that soothes my soul. I would love to have my taste buds sweetened. Thank you. And it's like, okay, if you can't imagine what a girl would say back to your pickup line, then best to not say it, because what in the world would I reply to this?
Exactly. Like, that's what I would love to know the thought process that goes, like, what? Because, I mean, that's not just, like, a simple thing. Like, he took the time to choose the words that he chose. Like, what did he want or expect from that reply? Like, did he really think that was, you were just going to be won over with his acumen? I don't get it.
His way with words. No, he was probably typing it out and it was just like, you know what? I got her with this one. This is a winner right here. And it was absolutely not. No idea what he was up to, what he was thinking about. It was super random and I immediately deleted. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it's, as like a texter, I'm thinking like 3 or 4 texts ahead. I'm like, okay, if I say this, hopefully they'll say this to be able to like build the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just send anything out without the like, oh, hopefully, they'll respond by saying this TV show they also love. And so then we can loop into why, we love Pedro Pascal or whatever. Like, there's gotta be, I don't know, for me, some forward thinking. I know not everybody has that.
That is the man's strong suit.
No.
Like, strong suit.
No, he's all about the here and the now, and that's about it. There's no
his
vibes.
Nubian queen.
No thoughts, just horny.
It'll be the title for this episode.
Yes.
No thoughts, just horny. Basically.
I mean,
because it's like, you think that people can't get lower, and then they will show you how low they can get.
All the time.
That's what she said.
Fair enough.
Had to be said.
Had to be said.
Oh. Dang. Well, have you had any, I guess, successes from the apps?
You know what? This is like something that got me. And this is something that I actually chose to be like my bio, because I saw a guy and he was like okay looking, he was cute. I was like, whatever. But I read his bio, and his bio was the snack that smiles back. And I was obsessed. I love
That's good.
that. I was like, you know what? You're the one. We matched and like we chatted for a little bit and it fizzled, but I was just like, no. That's gold.
Yeah. That is a good, sometimes that's what brings you in, those quippy
something like fun.
Yeah.
Funny. Nothing wild.
Relatable. I think that's another big thing. Is it's gotta be relatable. You don't just go in talking about nectar and all of these random ass things off the jump. No, you gotta make it relatable, and everybody loves goldfish. So, and
if you cannot do that, if you're worried that it might come off weird, or you're just like, I don't know if I'm funny enough, just simply a hi. Like, again, just like, hey, it's me.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid.
It's, I once swiped on someone. I mean, I'm sure this is like a common thing, but because I recognized them from our minor league hockey team. And I was like, ooh, I mean, he also happened to be handsome. But like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is who I think it is. So I swiped right. And I never got we didn't match. But, you know, sometimes the recognition or the handsomeness can do it.
If you are handsome, that does work in your favor.
It can
That's
help.
what they said about Ted Bundy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. That is
That is true.
That is exactly
yeah, that's exactly what they said.
God.
That is verbatim what they said.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so I've been going through my screenshots. I found another one, and this guy, his first message to me was, "Would you give me a BJ?" ?
Oh, wow.
I would say no. He says, "Alrighty, may I ask why not?"
At least he asked. He's looking for feedback, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Damn, men are so bold. Like, I don't think I could ever. I mean, that's a whole other thing. But like, I don't think I could ever just.
Was that in reply to like just a photo of you or one of
this
your?
This was on.
Prompts?
I think no, it was just like his first match. I think we matched, and then I think it was on like Bumble or something, and he just messaged, and that was his first message.
You're like,
He's like,
it's funny.
Shoot my shot.
Sometimes.
I mean, it's good to know.
No
what
thoughts,
you want,
just horny.
But like, dang.
Yeah, and then I say no, and he's like, all right, so why not? I'm like, sir, who are you?
You're like sitting on your couch in your apartment by yourself, looking around. Like, is he talking to me? Like,
am I
me? Is this directed at me? Because I don't think it is.
Yeah, I was like, who is this man? On the brighter side, I have one here that I screenshotted because it was such a good message. So we matched on Bumble. He messaged me and he just said, "Just a small town girl." And I was like, living in
a lonely world.
And he was just like, nice. And I was like, yeah. So that was a really cool opener.
There you go.
I do enjoy that.
I like that idea. Yeah, I had a similar to your BJ story. I met this guy when I worked at Target. He was a customer. And he was like, at least at the time on my shift, I was like, this guy's kind of cute. And he came through my line twice because he, quote, forgot something, unquote. So we like talked for a few days. We went out for dinner and we had like nothing in common. He didn't listen to what I said. And so the next day I texted him and I was like, hey, I don't think this is going to work. Whatever. Bye.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, cool. Like, no hurt feelings. Thanks for giving me the chance. And then I can't remember if it was later that day or the next day. He was like, even if you don't want to like date, do you want to fuck? Do you want to like, and I was like, no. And he was like, why not? And I was like,
why not?
No, you like that. And I'm not like, that's just not my personality. And he was like, oh, okay.
Aww.
And I haven't heard from him since. So
that's so weird.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I guess it kind of shows what he wanted.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
for sure. He's like, well, shoot, if we're not going to date, then will you still have sex with me?
Will you still boink? And I was like, no. So
he was like, aw.
Yeah.
He said, oh, no.
Not again.
Oh,
not again. What do I keep doing wrong?
Yeah. So that one was something.
Yeah. No,
I was like, okay, I'm good.
But I do love that you met him at your job, though. That's pretty funny.
I was going to say, I think I remember when that happened, and you were like, I had a meet cute, and it was like a whole thing, and we were like, yay, and then you were like, yeah, the date went bad. We were like, oh, bummer, okay.
Yeah, I was proud of myself because I gave it a shot. Mm-hmm. I didn't chicken out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny going from having met him at work and then seeing him in person again at dinner. I was like, what happened? It's not that he was bad looking, but I was just like, I feel like he looks different. I don't know what I was on the other day, but
You're like, I thought you were better looking. Sorry.
Yeah. Sadly, the only meet cute I got out of that job. Even though there are plenty of Seahawks players I hoped to have a chance with, but no such luck.
One day.
One day.
Found another one, of course.
Oh,
sorry.
You're good.
So this guy.
Do you have a folder just of like dating app screenshots?
No, just screenshots in general.
And they just happen to be.
A lot of them are just weird, but some of them are dating apps. But most of them are just like tweets that I retweeted.
Yes.
Or saved. And I'm like, this is a banger. I have one from you that I saved a screenshot from 2016. You said, my little basic Halloween hoe. And I said, that's me.
I said that?
Yeah. You said, my little basic Halloween hoe. And I was just like, that's me.
Love it.
Wow.
Which Halloween costume was it?
I don't know. This was in 2016. So
that was in the apartment.
Yeah.
Junior year?
We were Snapchatting about it for some reason. I don't know. But I saved that because I was like, yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
But yeah, so I just have like a folder of just screenshots. But I have one that says from this guy. Of course, his name is Kyle. We matched, and he sent me this as his first message. He goes, "As long as I have a face, you have a place to sit, beautiful."
Thank you for your service, Kyle.
I was like, oh? Question mark, question.
Was his face good looking?
Let me see if I can get closer.
Have been worth
Oh my god, he's holding up a fish in this picture as I zoom in.
Of course he is.
Of course, Kyle's holding up a fish. Yikes.
Oof. The three of us in our group chat the other day asked, shoot, what was it? Would you rather a picture of a guy holding a fish or...
Yeah, what was the
other option?
A bathroom selfie.
Bathroom selfie.
Yeah.
And then I heard it was probably another podcast, like the next day it was like, would you rather be married to a police officer or like a former, like a veteran? And I was like, oh God, that feels like, it gave me similar vibes. 'Cause, yeah, it's like, oh, either way, like,
either way,
some of us,
you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah. If I see a fish picture, a gun picture, most bathroom selfies, any kind of military paraphernalia or police paraphernalia, not going to work out, you know?
It's a no for me, dog.
Yeah. It's
if you have anything that's fair. If you have an American flag hanging in your house, I just know we're not going to be friends unless you have like Nicki Minaj on the front of it or Gibby from like Carly. Anything. Anything else.
Yeah, it's there are just some telltale signs, you know.
Yeah,
it's yeah.
But let's talk about like what dating apps that you guys have all been on. Like, which ones have you tried?
I have tried Bumble and Hinge. I think I did Tinder for like half a second. But yeah, because I think that was when like our senior year when we were in the apartments.
Yeah, I remember that.
I like tried that, but then like Bumble seemed a little better.
Yeah.
And then I did Hinge a little bit when I was in London. I just never... I never felt comfortable enough like talking and like then going to meet people because I'm always just like, I'm gonna get murdered. Like,
It is tough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very tough.
I've done the same 3. I've done Bumble the most. But yeah, I usually get too into my head about having to actually have a small talk conversation with someone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm likely to eventually just reject everybody and then delete it for a few months and then
Yeah.
And then come back.
let
You're
it
like, no,
crawl
I
in
can do
there.
it this time. And then you like
Yeah.
make it and you're like, no, I can't.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm different this time. I can go out and talk to people. No.
And someone's like, hello, and you're
I'm not gonna
gross.
change.
Like,
Like I'm not gonna change.
stranger danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried definitely like those big 3, you know, Bumble, Tinder, Hinge. I even met someone off like Yik Yak when that was a thing in school.
Oh my god, I forgot about Yik Yak.
Oh.
Yeah, when that was a thing, I met someone
Gosh.
on there. It was something. And you guys know, I think you guys know who it is. I'm not gonna say his name, but you guys know who it is. And,
We were there. We were there.
Yeah, you were around. And yeah, like I think dating apps have kind of worked out for me, I guess, in a sense that I've met people and I've been able to hang out with people for a while.
Yeah.
And feel like comfortable, I guess, around them. I think I was at my most popular when I was in London, though, because I was getting like left and right.
You made some friends.
I made some friends in London.
Yeah.
Sorry to my family who might be listening to this.
Your mom's like, what?
My mom's like, Courtney. But yeah, I was just thinking the other day too that I like was dating someone in London and like he helped me pack and like took me to the airport and it was like I had a whole moment and I like cried. It was a very wild time. And I think I met him on Bumble actually. Fun. So yeah, I'm actually seeing someone now who's on I met from
I'm sorry.
Hey,
But
breaking news. Boop, 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 boop.
I'm not like seeing him. It's
She's
one-
like, whoa.
Now she gotta backtrack.
let me
Gonna put her
backtrack
on
a little
blast.
bit. We're honestly just like friends. He's awesome. I'm trying to figure out if he'll listen to this. I don't think he will. But he's the one I told you guys about in the Maldives. That was
Oh, okay.
yeah. I know we gotta talk after this.
We'll have to catch up this weekend and get all the details.
Yeah. It's
the tea.
we've been hanging out like probably every weekend since I've been back home from the Maldives. So yeah.
So like 3 months, girl?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
This is happening live?
The podcast is where I tell all my surprises.
Who are you? No.
Who is she really?
Who is she really? No, that's why I won't get judgment if I say it on the podcast, because then you can't be like, we told you not to.
Nah. Hey, if he's being good, why not? Like,
Yeah.
as long as you're happy, that's what matters.
I think too it's like you were saying, you've had like some experience meeting people and figuring out.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a job. It's like job interviews where the practice kind of makes you like know more what you want to do, what you don't want to do, who you'd want to talk to, and
you can catch those like when there are red flags. You can catch them sooner and then like decide of like, okay, yeah, like this happened with, you know, so and so, and that was like really big no for me, and so like I don't want to go down that road again. And so it's nice when those things happen, you can realize that quicker of like, yep, nope, this isn't gonna work, or okay, like I've dealt with these types of things before, so like that you know, that's something I can be more flexible on. So yeah, that's important.
Yeah, for sure. Like once you've kind of had a few dates through like the apps, they kind of just like you're like, oh, this is what I was scared about, because they just kind of blur together, and it's just like, oh, this isn't even like a whole kind of thing to be afraid of, because it's just like hanging out. It's awkward. I will say that it is super awkward. But if you are going to meet someone on a dating app, meet them in person. Do not meet in a private place, because that's
in public.
Public, daylight, people around
public.
you. Tell your friends where you are. Use Find My Friend.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Always,
Tell your friends if you're going on dates.
Yeah.
So they can check on you.
Courtney?
Ma'am. No.
I'm picturing her blushing hard.
I know. I'm like, my bad.
She's like a little kid that got caught stealing a cookie before dinner.
Yeah.
Like,
that hand is in the jar.
Not to have dessert yet. Like,
I'm like, oh, shucks.
That little hand is in that jar, baby. It's okay.
Hey.
It's because we love you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more just like, dang. Like, I didn't even know to be worried about you. What the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
been texting you about trying to talk to boys, and you're just casually hanging on to this information. I'm not that exciting.
You are that exciting. Come on, let's not.
Facts.
And my mom kind of knows too, like when we're hanging out and stuff. So I at least tell her, like, hey, in case I go missing somewhere. But it's not the case too. Like, once you kind of hang out with a person for like a while, it's just like, okay, he's not gonna kill me.
Yeah,
we're good.
It does help too. Your mom actually lives in the city you live in, so she'd be able to better help you than we would.
And you know how anxious my mom is, so she messaged me every like minute, and she's like, "Are you dead?
Yeah,
you're dead." You don't
Remember
message
that
me now,
date
you're
that
dead.
you went on in college, and we like tracked your phone, and it said your phone was in the river, and Kaylee and I were like freaking out.
Yeah.
Low-key.
Oh my god, I remember that.
We were like
blocked out that information,
and we were like, weren't we nearby? We were like following her, but not meaning to follow her or something.
Yeah, because they had like gone on their date, and then you and I went to like run an errand. I think you needed like to go get a prescription from Target. I don't know how I remember that. Something like that. And so then it was like, wait, they're right around this area, or it says Courtney's right around this area, but it looks like her phone is in the river.
Yeah, we were like, oh my god, somehow she's like, her phone is surviving in the river.
like, how is she still alive?
Yeah. So, because, I remember us, like, texting you. You're like, no, we just went for a walk by the river. And we, like, screenshotted it. You're like, oh, shit, it does look like I'm in.
Yeah, it looks like I was in the, like, my, like, little location thing was, like, right in the center of the river.
Yeah, like you had just been pushed
and
or
it
something.
It was, like, nighttime as well. Like, wasn't it nighttime?
Yeah, it was already dark.
Yeah, so it was just a little sus. But no, we took, like, a walk by the river. We were hanging out by the riverbank. And I was not floating.
Good.
In danger.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely were like, are you safe? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And they're like, okay, good. And then I got home, they were just like, so we thought you were dead in the river.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah. There was a few times in college where it was like, we did more that, hey, okay, it's late and I'm going to bed. Just let me know if you're safe, whatever you're doing, if I'll see you tomorrow. And then you'd come home the next day and be like, all right. I'd be like sitting up ready for
the
all the gas.
Morning tea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be like, all right, so let me tell you.
It was so funny. One time, Courtney and our other roommate had gone out together and met a couple folks.
Oh,
and the fact that I got... Courtney like came in first, was like, oh my gosh, here's like the entire past 24 hours basically. And I was like, damn. And then the other roommate came in and told a completely different story.
I was like, oh.
And I was like, what happened with these boys? Like, what did I miss out on?
That night, still
insane.
I remember that night so freaking vividly because I remember being so pissed off. It was St. Patrick's Day.
So mad.
I was so upset. So it was St. Patrick's Day. We're out having fun. I had met this guy a while ago on like Bumble or something, and he was out too. I was at the bar with our other roommate, and he was just out at the bars as well. And I was like, oh, you should come to the bar that I'm at. And so he finally ended up coming, and it was a good time. And he was like, actually, like, I'm not really into it. He came with his friend that was visiting. He didn't go to our school or anything, but he was just visiting and hanging out. And so him and our roommate, the friend and our roommate, kind of got, you know, a little attraction there. So I was like, oh, okay. And then we decided to go to like another bar, and it was the one that you can like play games at. It was like a really cool kind of like retro gaming bar. Really fun time. So we're playing our little games, and the friends and our roommate is let's call her Vanessa. So the friend and let's call the friend Pete. So Pete and Vanessa are getting real close, and they're getting, you know, a little handsy, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, I'm keeping an eye on it. But you know, me and this guy from Bumble, like this is our first time like hanging out and like meeting. So I'm just like, meh, you know, it's fine. Well, actually, I think it was our second time. Yeah, it was our second time meeting. So I was just like, yeah, we're just like chill, whatever. But Pete and Vanessa decide, no, we need to leave now. And Vanessa's like, I'm going back to their place. And I'm like, huh. He's visiting, so he's staying on the couch. That's really awkward.
Yeah.
2, how am I going to get home? Because at this point now, the bar that we walked to was further away from like our apartment. And Kaylee wasn't 21 yet, so she wasn't with us. And Megan was in London. And so I'm just like, well, who's going to like go with me home? It's past midnight at this point.
And I think I was like already asleep, so
yeah,
you didn't want to call to get you.
Yeah,
or something
you were already
like
asleep.
that.
Yeah, it was really late. And I'm like, I don't want to bother Kaylee to have to drive and come get me. But Vanessa, the roommate, was like, no, like, it's fine. You can walk home alone, or I'll buy you a cab. And I was like, well, I don't want you to buy me a cab. Like, don't spend money on me for a cab. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I'll go back there with you. Because I was honestly concerned because she was very inebriated. So I was like, well, okay, I'll go with you. We need to stick together. I go back with her. She makes like the biggest fool of herself at this guy's apartment. It's I can't even begin to explain. And I felt so bad because she was like very ready to like do things sexually and all that kind of stuff. And the guy was like, okay, like, let's do this. And then she decides like right in the middle that she does not want to do anything, and also like, do not touch me. And so he's like, do you want to go home? And she's just like, no. And so it just becomes incredibly awkward because she's just at this person's house. And like, yeah, it's super awkward. And so other things do occur that is just kind of like, it's more awkward. But she didn't really tell me much until the next morning. And that's why when we got dropped off the next day, because that was the plan, the guy I met that was going to drop us off in the morning, Kaylee got all the tea.
Yeah.
I for some reason I got there like before her. I think she was like putting something away in her room.
Yeah, or she like took a shower or whatever she did. And so, yeah, I was like, I'd woken up and I was like, okay, they're not back. No biggie. Courtney had said, oh, we're getting a ride from Pete or the other guy. Someone was giving them a ride home. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm here. Like, you know, ready for whenever you get home. And then, yeah, it just, it was just one of those times where Courtney was really excited to go, and then it just kind of got ruined.
It was such a weird day.
Yeah.
All night. It was like the weirdest night of my life. And I remember it so well because I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah. It was just one of those times where I'd wait up and want the tea, and then it was like trying to put I was having the cork board with the red yarn, trying to put all the pieces together. What happened? I know.
I hated those times that you weren't able to like go out and stuff when you weren't 21 yet. It was like, it was so sucky.
I am a baby.
You
Yeah.
are the baby.
I am a baby.
But when you turned 21, it was on.
Yeah, then I was able to witness some of the other crazy things Vanessa got up to that she tried to sometimes rope Courtney into, and other times just straight up dipped. Boys were
the top priority, and not us.
Yeah.
For sure. But we'll get into more of that with our horror stories, and I can let you know how many other times I got left at the bar, or almost got left at the bar, or had to make other friends at the bar because I was alone.
Because you got left. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny though, because I met so many friends that they were like regulars at that bar, that when you and Megan were actually came to hang out, I was like, oh no, that's our friend. She's cool.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you'd like smile and hug and like say hi to people. We're like, do you know them from class? You're like, no, from here. I was like,
no, when Vanessa left me, I had to make friends. And they were nice.
Yeah. It can be fun to bring a friend along, end up doing a little double date, but sometimes your friends are going to be the sneaky ones who ruin it, which is something I would expect out of Vanessa, but I'd not expect out of most of my friends, you know?
No, for sure.
Crazy.
Definitely a wild time. So,
Crazy.
If you do meet someone off an app, meet in a public spot. And maybe, don't bring your friend along, because that might be a little awkward, but always tell your friends where you are.
Yeah. And if you are going to go with your friends, maybe take a group trip to the bathroom and make sure everybody's on the same page with going over to the guy's house. Like,
instead of,
because it's not the fact that Vanessa didn't want to go forward being whatever with the guy. Like, that's not the point of what made it awkward. No. The point was that she kind of forced Courtney's hand to go to a guy's house that Courtney didn't want to go to in the first place. Like, he wasn't at that level yet. And then proceeded to make things more awkward by not only, like, totally fine that she said no, but then insisted on still sleeping on the couch with this guy, making him sleep on the floor instead of being like, no, Courtney and I'll just get a cab.
We'll just go home, which is what I wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was go home. But she definitely forced my hand there. And if it was up to me, then we would both just went home after. But she was just like, no, I want to go here. And so I, was like, I'm not going to leave her with these two guys. Yeah. And then I'm not going to be, walking home with myself or in a car at the middle, like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was just like, okay, I'll go with you, strength in numbers, all that. And then for her to not even act like she wanted to be there at the end of the day. But she still was interested in the person. Like, she was very much still interested in Pete. But was just having, I guess, second thoughts, which is totally fine again. But don't rope me along in there, too, because I did not want to go.
I remember when... Because you guys had told me that, because I was obviously in London when all of this, like, originally happened. And then when I came back our senior year, or maybe I was just back for... No, I think I was just back for Kaylee's birthday. And we went out with that group of guys, and Pete was there. And so I knew that nothing had happened between Pete and Vanessa. But Pete and I ended up talking, and like I was talking about London, and he had also studied abroad. And so we were just talking about Europe and travel and like totally casual, nothing steamy or anything. And she pulls me to the side and is like, I just want you to know that like we did stuff, but it's okay if you want to go for that. And I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, thanks. Like, I just met him 10 minutes ago. Like, yes, the conversation's been nice, but we're good. Everything's chill.
I'm set here. Yeah, she was a little territorial over Pete there, which was strange because...
Which was not her place.
Yeah, it wasn't her place at all. And then she was totally sending him very, like, mixed signals. And acted kind of like she was super interested, but then was like, no, I don't like you, and then was kind of wanted to dance on it. It was very strange. Yeah. But yeah, she was all over the place. I do remember that. Wild times.
It's also goes to show, be honest with how you feel.
Yeah.
whether you do want to be with
You
someone
don't
or
gotta lie and
don't.
kick it. Like
You don't- no.
Yeah.
you don't have to put on this front of, being promiscuous if that's not who you are. Like, that's fine. Like, none of us are promiscuous. Like that.
Yeah.
That
I don't know.
wasn't-
Courtney's keeping secrets over there. so-
Hey, we're good girls, okay? Good, wholesome women.
No. Yeah, you don't need to put on a front. Like I was kind of saying at the beginning, it's going to work out with people who like you for exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Be
No,
yourself.
for sure. Yeah.
If people don't like it, then they're not right for you. You can't
Yeah.
force that hand.
You don't have to kind of like make yourself seem a certain type of way to get more attention or to, think that that's what boys like, because it's ultimately what's going to like work in the long run is just to be yourself.
Yeah.
And if they like you, they like you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines when it comes to dating and relationships, which I have told you guys many times, but is Phyllis from The Office, where she says, everyone deserves someone who wants to be with them. And I just think that is more like the best line that you can think of, because that is what everyone deserves, and the person should want to be with you for who you are.
Yeah.
Not for some facade that you've created or manifested.
I mean,
Yeah,
her husband
100%.
paid like $1,000 for a hug from her,
Love Bob Vance.
I
Okay,
know.
so for duration.
Yeah, we're talking about The Office still, not Vanessa.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how much her future husband has paid for a hug, but probably not that much money.
No, Bob Vance was a real one.
Yeah. It's, I mean, I can't speak from much experience, but I guess I kind of can, because, it's like, people are going to like you if you're authentic, you're yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that you haven't figured out who that is, that's cool too. You don't have to be forcing it to meet certain people or be part of a certain group or do anything that you're not ready for.
Yeah, and
There's
honestly, I think
a lot of life to live.
for sure. I think that's like kind of the point of just even being on dating apps and even dating is just like, just don't do too much. Be yourself and be, authentically you, and just kind of like, just like go with the flow there, and don't try and be like super pushy, forceful. Don't send a poem to a girl,
No.
Don't find them on Facebook if they have not swiped on you or given you express permission. Just be yourself. That's all I think we all want to see, and that's like what will get you the most swipes anyway, is just to be yourself and not open with a weird line.
Yeah, I'd rather not talk at all than you try to, I don't know.
Like, come on
send
to
me
me
slam
and, like-
poetry.
Yeah, slam poetry.
It's just, I don't know. Boys are dumb, and they can be also just very simple to talk to and work with and figure out if it's a yes or no,
Hot take from Kaylee over here.
They're not gonna. Boys are dumb, men are trash, and
Yeah,
I still
basically.
want to date them.
And sadly,
The
still
downfall of it all.
heterosexual.
Yeah, it's a real problem. But,
Yeah, should we wrap up?
Yeah, I think so. I can't think of
other-
anything else.
yeah, just don't be afraid to be you. Show off exactly who you are, whether it's photos on an app or whatever you like to post on your Instagram story with songs you like, or tagging the people that you're hanging out with, so people see who the kind of crowd you keep. It's, people look out for that, and just keep it exactly as you want. You don't have to be, I don't know, whatever you think it has to be, it doesn't.
Yeah, like those
really
Instagram, like influencers, like all that kind of stuff isn't like what people are looking for. We just want to see like you being you. Don't be anyone that you're not. And ultimately, like the people that you attract are going to be people that have the same interests and the same likes and are similar to you. So yeah, you are what you attract.
Amen.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to attract any super horny women by being super horny, though. I think that's the only
That is
caveat to
true.
that.
That is a
Yeah.
downside.
I could be wrong. But
Yeah.
You just like get AI like bots.
oh my.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get with that.
Yeah. Well, this has been Dating 101 with the girls. With Dead and Company.
Yes.
Yes. You wanna take us out, Kaylee?
Yeah. I mean, we've made it another week. We're out here surviving every day. You can you can catch us on our socials. We've got Instagram and Twitter at AWW Roommates. So that's all roommates. You can find me specifically under, I think it's Kaylee _Ranksdorf on the apps that you need to find me on. As I've said, I usually post about my cat Birdie or sports. So this summer I'm going strong with Mariners, of course. The Women's Soccer World Cup is coming up, so I'm sure that'll be a good hot topic. Yeah. Where can we find you, Megan? What are you getting up to?
Just lots of podcast stuff and movie reviews, and so you can find that. My other podcast is Megan's Murder Movies, and then I have the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, which is where I kind of post most often now. Both are M Murder Movies, so that's M as in Massacre Murder Movies on Instagram and Twitter. What about you, Courtney? Tell us what's going on with the blog.
Yeah, so blog has been going smoothly. And we have now everyone's linked, so their socials are all linked on my blog. So if you go to courageouslycourt.wordpress.com, then go to the And We Were Roommates tag. Well, yeah, And They Were Roommates tag. Then you'll be able to get our info from there too if you're not wanting to click down below. Well, I don't know if podcasts have the thing that's like linked down below. I'm so used to YouTube. But yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Hit that notification bell.
But yeah, so they'll be all linked there. But yeah, I mostly post on my blog just about kind of mental health stuff, also self-help tips, travel, school and university life, and things like that. So you can catch me over there.
Yeah, keep an ear out in the future because those are all topics we're going to cover: mental health, self-care, travels that we've had individually and together. Yeah, keep an ear out. I feel like we've kind of said, but this is just like putting a microphone to our conversations normally. So I don't know. If you want to listen to 3 more women with microphones, we're here for you.
That's what we should have named it.
3 women with microphones.
3 more girls with microphones.
3 chaotic girls with microphones.
3
ghosts in a
no thoughts, just horny girls with microphones. No.
That's a different podcast.
I'm just kidding, Shauna. I'm just kidding.
That's another one.
Yeah.
We'll make that in the future.
Yes.
When we're 30, flirty, and driving.
Only a couple more years.
Oh, God.